He wanted to have some fun in the sun, but now he's feeling the heat. Talking about Justin Trudeau's office confirmed that the Prime Minister and his family are on holiday in Costa Rica for the first 2 weeks of August. So some Canadians aren't happy about it, citing the optics of vacationing while a recession looms, use of taxpayer dollars, and climate change concerns. So Gemini, let us know, is the backlash warranted?
Personally, I think he could have done things better. I think he could have been more considerate. But I'm not mad if the man needs a vacation. If he's stressed, if he's working, he's running the country, take a vacation. For me, when I saw this, all I thought about was, at least you're not running on a beach while we're talking about Indigenous children dying, and you said that you could.
Great, yeah.
This one's fine. This one's fine. Take a vacation. Take the stress off.
Yeah. I mean, I think the problem maybe that people are having is that Justin Trudeau really pushed this idea, especially early on in the pandemic, that we're all in this together. And I think that increasingly it's sort of felt like we're not all in this together, even though we're sort of like, we have this idea now that the pandemic is waning, but it's not. We've this recession looming. We've got gas prices. People are really struggling right now to make ends meet. And so while I do agree, I think everyone agrees, people deserve vacations no matter what you do. No matter what.
And he's
But I mean, I think maybe, do you think if he was going somewhere in Canada, somewhere maybe quieter, low key, that might have made a difference?
If I were Prime Minister, that's exactly what I would do. I remember in 2020, he went, they rented a cottage. That makes so much more sense. It's actually feeding back into the Canadian economy. There's no flights involved. You still have to pay for the security detail and all of that. But, you know, it just made a lot of sense. I think optically that would have been better. But listen, this guy's... Some people might argue otherwise, but he's no dummy. You know, he knows exactly what the backlash would be, and he has people who would tell him what the backlash to this trip would be. Yet, he still chose to go. So that tells me the fear of the backlash wasn't so much that it outweighed sort of the necessity of this trip.
I love what you're saying there, because I actually totally agree with that. I mean, his advisors would have told him, so here's what possibly could happen in the press if you decide to go to Costa Rica, of all places. And I think he probably waited out. I, too, do believe that he, like everybody else, has had a really rough go over the last 2 years. I look at this from a little bit of a different perspective, that he's got 3 kids. They're 14, 13, and 8, I believe. And so he's been in office for 7 years. That means they were 7, 6, and 1. And it's a pretty high-stress job. He's not home a lot. So how much of their lives has he missed? How much of their father have they missed because he's running a country?
Daddy took the job to run the country.
No, you're right.
He's going to have time with the kids when he's
no.
They've already been to Costa Rica once.
I get it. Once.
Yeah.
But my point is...
So there's a Costa Rica limit. There's only,
a Costa Rica
allowed...
limit. But my point is, I think that he is many people and has campaigned on being a different kind of leader, a feminist leader. But I also think he's modeling, for better or for worse, I think, present fathering. And I'm actually okay with that. I would never want my kid, I mean, we have busy jobs, and I'm away from my daughter more than I even like, and I'm not running a country.
Does it matter if you like him? Like, this is the thing, if you didn't like him as a leader, already, our provincial leader, for example, like, he has been kind of persona non grata. Is that the right expression for that?
Yeah, sure. So.
Anyway, not really around that much. And our province is falling apart right now. Like, healthcare is falling apart, like everything. So he hasn't been around. I don't feel like he's receiving the same amount of flack necessarily, but I don't know, does it matter? Like, do we see
your
it through the lens?
strife.
Your political
strife. Yeah.
I think it somewhat matters, but to me, all I can think about is, for instance, do you remember when there was an MP who went on vacation and put on a fake coat to pretend that he could when he couldn't, and was
during the pandemic?
Yes. So my thing is, he's actually allowed now. There's times where he should not travel. We don't know if we're going to shut down the country again soon. Take the trip. And he's being clear with us. So we have the right to not like it, but he's being clear. So I respect that.
Hey there, and thanks for sticking around. Wasn't that just fantastic? You know where you can get some more all-around great content? Our YouTube page. It's filled with all the laughs and thought-provoking chats you could ask for. So do yourself a favor, like and subscribe now.